Yes, so the mood here among Labour MPs and Labour staff is still really gloomy after that crushing election defeat last week. And we've seen former Labour MPs who lost their seats here clearing out their offices, being consoled by colleagues in the corridors. But even as that is happening, we're also seeing leadership contenders emerging who could take over from Jeremy Corbyn when that leadership race starts formally next year. A couple of those have set out their leadership pitches today, and we're expecting more of those in the coming days and weeks. But even in this early stages, what we can sense is that this will really be a battle for the soul of the Labour Party. The question will be, can those Jeremy Corbyn supporters retain control, or will a more moderate candidate emerge who could take over? And maybe even more importantly, how divisive will this battle be? And eventually, will the party be able to reunite around the new leader? It's not yet been a week since Labour's election collapse, but already the era of Jeremy Corbyn is fading. The question now is who will take his place and what do they stand for? So far, 8 names have emerged. Some Corbyn loyalists, others staunch Corbyn critics. And some senior shadow cabinet figures still reeling from the devastation of election night, ready to lay blame, but not on the outgoing leader, Jeremy Corbyn.
It was a combination of factors. We didn't knock down the Get Brexit Done mantra. I fundamentally believe that the move in 2015 of the Labour Party to a position of anti-austerity, anti-cuts to our public services was right.
Emily Thornberry, setting out her pitch in an article for The Guardian, was less concerned with the party's Brexit position, saying they should never have allowed a Brexit election in the first place.
What's the future for the party, Mr Blair?
Hi.
One Labour politician was prepared to criticise Jeremy Corbyn's leadership, though.
Tony Blair.
And he didn't hold back.
Labour can keep with the programme and positions of Jeremy Corbyn with a new leader, in which case it's finished. Or it can understand that it must recapture the party from the far left, make radical changes and begin the march back to power.
Lots of people within the Labour Party at the moment are saying that the new leader should be a woman and somebody from outside of London in order to reconnect with the heartlands. Do you think that those things are important, or should it just be the best person for the job?
People, what they want is someone who's going to govern the country with a credible programme. So if they're from outside London, great. If it's a woman, even better, because there is a moment in time when we definitely should want that as a Labour Party. But the most important thing is the right political position.
It's not 1997. Society isn't like it was in 1997. The economy isn't like it was in 1997.
Richard Bergen has been one of Jeremy Corbyn's most vocal supporters. He's now standing for deputy leader and is supporting Rebecca Long-Bailey for leader. So there's no question of you and people like Rebecca Long-Bailey who have been fully behind Jeremy Corbyn saying now we were wrong, we'll step out of this debate.
We learn the lessons.
But the only lessons that you've really identified are that Brexit got in your way. Everything else seems like it's going to be continuity Corbyn, to coin a phrase.
Tragically,
you haven't identified any other lessons to learn.
Tragically, we lost 60 seats. 50 of those seats were in Leave areas. We need to analyse exactly where and how we lost those votes and who to.
I do solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that
Today, MPs were being sworn in for the start of a new parliamentary term. Among them, more Labour leadership hopefuls.
Do you wish to swear or affirm? Affirm.
But for those who criticised Corbyn's reign, can they now win over party members, many of whom joined to elect him?
The makeup of the selectorate that picked the Labour leader is massive because ultimately they have the final say on it. We think we've seen about 20,000 people join the Labour Party since the election defeat last week. But also the existing members, how have their views changed on Labour last week? Was it it was a seismic shock? How much has that resonated with them? And what do they think is the reason Labour lost the election? I think that battle to frame that defeat will be massive in the leadership election.
Tomorrow, the Queen's speech will mark a new start for the Conservatives in government. But for Labour, they will have to wait for their new start as they reflect on their past and decide what direction to take in the future.